1,000. We go wash plate tire. Farabalẹ̀ now.
Madam, hello,
brother, na 3,005.
Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000.
Oh yeah.
Bring your phone.
Ha! 10,000.
1,000 credit. Now you start to 10,000.
No. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10 times rẹ.
I told you.
Ẹ wá kò tẹ̀.
On the news tonight, federal government launches carbon emission market strategy as a guide to a green economy. Kwara State Police Command unravels mystery surrounding killings at 16-hour hotel. Residents call for pragmatic steps on the implementation of ILORIN master plan to end roadside trading. Plus, updates from the world of entertainment and sports. This is the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA ILORIN News Tonight. Good evening and welcome. I am Kehinde Omolosho. Nigeria launches a carbon emission market strategy which provides policy recommendations that will guide the national transition to a green economy. On NTA Fine Face reports that this is a demonstration of the nation's commitment to net zero carbon emissions by 2060.
At COP26 in Glasgow, President Muhammadu Buhari announced Nigeria's net zero target of 2060. Several policies have been initiated to achieve these targets, the latest being the Emissions Trading Scheme, ETS, which is a market-based approach used in the reduction of human-induced greenhouse gas emissions, especially carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. Also known as cap and trade, the ETS is a cost-effective way of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And for Nigeria, focus is on sectors in which emissions are said to be shooting up, including transport, energy, and construction.
Nigeria cannot afford to ignore the possibilities of generating upwards of 250 metric tons of carbon dioxide annually, amounting to an estimated value in excess of $3 billion. The Federal Ministry of Environment is therefore poised to explore all options that are driven by our domestic realities and yet in tune with global benchmarks and best practices to ensure the development of a scheme that adds value to the environment, trigger bankable and commercial transactions, which will ultimately generate jobs.
With this launch, experts believe that Nigeria now has a powerful tool to build its response to climate change in a cost-effective way and meet its nationally determined contributions to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. On NTA Fine Face, NTA News.
The Kwara State Police Command has linked the mystery surrounding the death of the owner of 16-hour hotel at Alomilaya to a case of assassination and not kidnapping. Though investigation in the matter is ongoing, the police is saying it is leaving no stone unturned to rid the state of criminal elements. Happy White Bibere has the details.
Residents of Alomilaya area of Gomo in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State were dazed when they heard sporadic gunshots in their area, and lo and behold, The owner of 16-hour hotel was killed.
A friend of the owner of hotel, who was known to be Ori, was abducted while the owner of the hotel was shot and killed.
The police tactical team swung into action and normalcy was restored to the area, according to the spokesperson of the Kwara Police Command. The OC Egbe Federal Highway, which has been witnessing incessant kidnapping cases in recent times, is also receiving the command's attention.
I'm also glad to tell you that the 2 remaining victims were released. We were rescued 2 days after that incident, when the pressure was so much on the kidnappers. They couldn't escape with them, so they had no choice than to abandoning the victims, and we got them.
An interstate synergy between Kwara, Oyo, and Kogi State is being formed to prevent criminals' incursion to Kwara State. No matter the security strategy deployed by the security forces, cooperation of the citizens is important to achieving a crime-free society. Abdul Wahid Bibire, NTA News.
The call from different quarters for an Ilorin master plan is apt and requires pragmatic steps by government for its implementation if the ancient city is to witness modern development. For instance, most neighborhood markets in the metropolis are distorted and not well planned. Fumilayo Familoni visited some of the neighborhood markets in Ilorin metropolis and filed in this report.
Barricades, walkways and drains are part of road network designs. The essence of this is to give vehicles and pedestrians a sense of belonging and to also give the road long and lasting lifespan. Some neighboring markets in Ilorin operate in the morning and night due to the availability of goods and services. These markets are, however, usually jam-packed due to roadside trading, as some traders have moved beyond the road, set back to the road median to display their goods, not minding the inherent dangers attached to it. This is evident in markets like Ikpata, Gambari, Mandate and Ojaoba. Residents are worried about this development and want relevant government agencies to look ahead.
People staying on the roadside, displaying their goods and things. So anything can happen at any point of time. So to me, it's not a good idea.
The traffic issue at the Pata market need to be curbed. Because those places where the vehicle will park, you see these petty sellers occupying all those places. So government should try to move them back.
Meanwhile, gridlock and wrong parking is the order of the day in the affected areas, as this affects movement of vehicles and pedestrians.
There's one thing in this state. Once they pass a law, it is that day they effect it. Second day, the third day, nobody will take action again.
I will find a place for those people that were selling to find another place for them, so that they will be okay for their market.
The appeal is for government and concerned authority to address roadside trading in Ilorin metropolis in order to ensure free flow of traffic and to avoid unforeseen dangers inherent in roadside trading. Fumilayo Familoni, NTA News.
The landscape of Ilorin metropolis for some time now used to be dotted with refuse defacing the aesthetics of the one-time cleanest state in the country. But the narrative is changing gradually through the concerted efforts of the state government. Let's get an update on the new face of Ilorin metropolis.
From Post Office to Taiwo Road, Okumalu, Emirs Road, Ipata and Maraba, it was observed that the environment was devoid of the usual heaps of refuse. With the growing population of the state, increase in waste production is bound to happen. However, Esther Okoli is not pleased with the attitude of some residents who dump refuse beside the waste bins at night. This to her is an act that needs to be checked and also called for orientation among the populace.
No, they just pack it this morning. They usually pack it. Sometimes they will leave it like 1 week. Everybody will be running up and down because it's very close to our shops.
The government should please help us to control those that dump refuse here. The odor is disturbing us, but we don't have options. That is why we are here.
This development prompted me to visit the Ministry of Environment to find out how this feat was achieved.
We're still on advocacy, sensitization, and of course with that comes enforcement. So we've taken different enforcement measures to ensure that offenders are duly apprehended and made to face the wrath of the law.
What we normally do is to sensitize people and the regular inspection of our social contractors and the waste managers consultant.
What measures are being put in place to sustain the development?
The social waste collectors who are getting paid to evacuate waste within the metropolis are getting buy-in on top of their work. These commercial waste collectors are also going around. So all these apparatus, all the personnel are there, and it is all value-driven.
The appeal to residents is to patronize commercial waste collectors, stop dumping of refuse on road medians and waterways to maintain a clean and healthy environment.
Minister of Sports submit 10-year football master plan. These and more reports will come your way after this break. Stay tuned.
Sports Zone. This is your sports rendezvous happening in the world of sports. You deserve to know. You want it analyzed? Sports Zone on NTA ILORIN, both local and international. You get the breaking news and the history, analyzing with brilliant sports exponents. Live every Wednesday, 9 to 9:30 in the morning. That's the time for your wonderful moment in sports infotainment. Sports Zone. Join us. Let's set the agenda.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has declared that football remains the #1 sport in Nigeria and a national asset. As such, administration will resist any attempt to undermine its development. The president made the pledge while receiving the 10-year football development master plan submitted by the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari. In a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari affirmed that it is the responsibility of government to safeguard the sport, which has brought Nigeria many laurels, and to treat as a national asset. President Buhari used the occasion to spell out his expectations from the 2-volume report directed to the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and the Nigerian Football Federation to commence its implementation in phases within defined lines of relevant sections of the Nigerian laws on sports development and the statutes of the World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA. Sports Minister Sunday Dari announced that the Buhari administration has disbursed over 15 billion naira to NFF through budgetary appropriations and presidential interventions in the last 7 years. He commended the president for the attention given to football development in the country and laying a solid foundation for the growth of the game. He described the 10-year master plan, which took the Ibrahim Galadima-led 16-member committee 6 months to prepare, as a world-class document. And moving on to entertainment news, veteran rapper Idris Abdulkarim's management has revealed that his kidney transplant surgery was successful. Rachel Olaiton has details.
It's a moment of celebration in the Nigerian music industry as veteran rapper Idris Abdulkarim undergone successful kidney surgery. The rapper tendered his appreciation to fans, followers, and his wife, Whitey, for standing by him during his health crisis as he seeks more of their prayers till he gets back on his feet. In another development, Afrobeat superstar Rema, in search of international success, has sought the assistance of American pop star Selena Gomez for the remix of his hit single titled Calm Down. This was confirmed by Selena Gomez, who posted the teaser of Calm Down remix on a Twitter account. Meanwhile, Afrobeat superstar CK via his Twitter account has teased the release of his debut album, Sad Romance. The album, Sad Romance, is set to reveal the different challenging phases CK went through on his road to fame.
And let's join David Tuta for sports updates.
Ahead of the fight against Alexander Usyk, the champion, on Saturday night at King Abdullah Sports Arena in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, a number of boxing pundits and professionals, including former WBO cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson, had suggested Joshua could retire from the sport if he lost again. The 32-year-old and his promoter Hearn insisted after the fight that an early retirement wasn't a possibility, with a return expected in December. The U.S. women's national team head coach Vlato Andonovsky has named 23 players for the double-header friendlies between the Americans and the Super Falcons next month. The U.S. 4-time World Cup champions and 4 Olympic Games gold winners played the 9-time African champions first at the Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas on September 3rd, before squaring off again at the Audi Field in Washington.